Yeah, I think the things that I worry most about are supply chain
Mhm.
attacks, like SolarWinds being a good example of that. There was where trusted, malicious code gets embedded in trusted software. Um, so even the best intentioned company that's following good practices, somehow accidentally installs malicious code because they think it's trusted, and so that concerns me quite a bit. And they've added some stuff to the NIST cybersecurity framework and to 62443 around supply chain security, but it's a tough issue because it goes back to the vendors, which are generally trusted, and so we're reliant on our vendors also having good supply chain practices, and so that's probably what keeps me up the most. The other is just I do worry that some organizations are glossing over the risk assessments, and I guess that's one of the reasons why we wrote that standard, is because there was no standard prior to that for how to perform a risk assessment in a control system environment. Plenty of other risk assessment standards out there, but none for control systems that talked about these are the things that you really need to do, because a lot of them, every company really kind of had their own methodology, and some don't take all of the variables of risk into consideration. The biggest one being consequence. A lot of the risk assessment procedures and methodologies that I've seen purely look at vulnerabilities and threats. And while that's important, not every vulnerability is necessarily high risk. And then some vulnerabilities that might seem innocuous might even have a low CVSS score, depending on the application. And if they're exploited, they can actually be high risk. So just looking at vulnerabilities alone is not enough. And that's what I hope comes across in 3-2.